Hi, everybody. Welcome to this live. I am so thrilled that we're going to have a conversation with Greg. He will be coming on soon, and we're going to talk about your dreams and creating an impact. I see Greg here. Let me get him to join. There we go. How is everybody doing today? And where are you in the world? Where are you in the world? So good to see everybody. Yay, Rubina, Kim. I love all the hearts. Thank you. I think he's coming on. Oh, Greg. Greg is in his happy place. He's at the cottage, I think. Or are you in your backyard?
No, I'm at the cottage, but whenever I'm with you, I'm in my happy place. So it doesn't matter where I'm at.
Oh, I love that. Greg, how do you feel if we just dive right in?
Let's do it. I'm in.
Okay, I love it. Greg, so actually what I'd like to do is start with something that you did recently, and then we can sort of reverse engineer it. You took a dream off the shelf, a dream that you've had, and this is now something that you help other people do. What was your dream? How long did you have the dream? And tell us the process of making the decision to act.
Wow. Yeah, that's I literally well, because of you actually, and all the work that we've done and the coaching, I got really clear about what I wanted. And what I want is to take my dream off the shelf. I've known what I've wanted for 20 years, right? I created this dream of having a place and really helping people figure out what they want and get what they want. You know, I realize most people don't know what they want, and for the people that do, they don't know how to get it. Help people get out of their own way. And I created a name for the place called the Still Center. And it was really about, getting clear, getting out of the busyness into the stillness, and getting clear about what it is that you truly want, getting off the treadmill, taking a break from your day to day, taking a break from taking care of other people, whether it's your family, whether it's your parents, depending on your life, where you're at in your life, taking care of your team, and just focusing on you and taking care of you. And Hina, I made this dream so big. I mean, it scared the crap out of me, right? It was 100 acres in Muskoka, big lodge, all these cabins, $20 million. I'm like, how am I gonna do this, right? I was focused on the how, and literally would take it off, dust it off a little, put it back on. And anyway, I got clear that this is what I wanted to do. And I was in a conversation with a mutual friend of ours, Cecilia, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I just need to start hosting retreats. I just need to start diving in and really making a difference with people, building my community. And she's like, well, when are you going to do it? And and I was ready for the question at that point, right? Because we had done so much work before that. I was ready for that. And I said, oh, I'm going to do it in December. And this is last fall. So, I've had 3 Still Center retreats. I've got another one coming up end of the year. I'm doing my life coaching. Like, I've always been a personal development junkie. I've always been a human connection junkie. And I've done tons of corporate coaching, right? Brand coaching, team coaching, culture coaching. And while it was great and I made a difference and the teams I worked with were amazing, this was something that's been calling me for a while. So I finally made it happen, and it's happening, and it's been happening. It's going to continue to happen for for the rest of my life, basically.
I love it. And I'm wondering, for those that are listening right now, is there something that you have that's been on the shelf? Is there a dream that you have had that it's in you, you want to do it, maybe you don't know how, so you get tripped up, or it feels so much bigger than where you're at, and you're not sure if you would be able to handle it? What is it for you that you've wanted to do? So Rubina says, I'm going to go to the November retreat. Yay! Rubina, I'm so proud of you. Amazing. That's so good. Because what I have found is, look, it didn't leave you, Greg, for 20 years. So even if you try to make it small, like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, I don't really need to do this, it's okay, it was still in there whispering to you. And one of the things that you had mentioned was it felt so big that sometimes we don't know where to start. But really what you wanted was to impact lives. And you could do that in this moment by just hosting a see, now I'm getting worked up already. Already. I just
Me too.
started doing it. So sometimes we have to ask ourselves, like, what would just be the first step? What would be the first step? And when you ask yourself that, is that when you started to get some momentum and then pick a date and then pick the place?
Yeah, it was incredible as soon as I made that decision. Well, another big realization that I had, Hannah, was that it's not about the place. Like it's about the space. And I could rent a space. I'm co-creating the space with my guests. So whether it's at like a luxury cottage, Muskoka, whether it's at a retreat center in the Kawarthas, whether it's at our cottage, wherever that is, whether it's at a tiny little cabin, doesn't matter. And so for me, it was taking that step. And as soon as I said yes, and I made the commitment to myself, and to one of our mutual friends, then things showed up. It was incredible. She's like, oh, I know somebody who's renting a cottage, on Lake Muskoka. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I contacted her, and the place was amazing. The pricing was amazing. I didn't look at any other places. Normally, like I would have checked out 20 other spots and which one's perfect and what is this? I was just like, this is it. And then and a friend showed up and she was like, hey, I'd love to do a journal for you. And she had this design and I used her design and I created this still center journal. It was just easy. Everything just started showing up, right? It was incredible. I had a friend of mine who had co-hosted retreats. I invited her as a guest. And she said, oh, Greg, I checked my calendar and I'm available to co-host with you and co-facilitate. And I hadn't actually thought of that. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I just kind of checked in, with myself. And I was like, oh, wow, that'd be great to do that with her. She's done tons of retreats, before, and that'd be a cool experience. So she and I are, co-creating the space with our guests. And that was a special experience as well. So it was so easy after all that happened. I've had the agenda like for 20 years.
What?
So.
Once you make a decision and you let go of how it had to look, when you let go of how it had to look and how it had to be, you just made the decision you were going to do it, and then how supported you were. All of these things came, things that you were not even aware of, like the journal, like the person co-hosting it. There were so many things that you were not aware of that started to come to you to make this really special and an incredible experience. And I, ask you that are watching, what would be your first step and what would it look like to just release attachment to the outcome of it having to look a certain way? When we can do that, and then we're into wonder and curiosity, and we can allow it to, I feel it's always even better than you can imagine. And so when you're doing these retreats, Greg, what is the impact that you desire to make with your clients? Like, what is it that you want them to leave with?
I want them to leave with clarity, momentum, at least a few inspired actions from the insights that they would have gained over the weekend. I want them to I want them to figure out what lights them up and what lightens them up. And so that's, my goal in the retreat. And the feedback's been incredible. Like it's been very heartwarming to see people transform in the span of a few days. And I've witnessed that in the work that, we've done and how you coach people. And I say in the retreat, because often some of your clients, will be there, some of our community. And I'm like, I'm channeling Hina right now. Because it's like I'm literally through the Khan method coaching, through all the work that you've done. And it helped me to pull everything together. It's like this glue and this thread that runs through my grounding, visioning, clearing, and actioning process, that I take clients through.
I love that. And so what you had just said was that Khan method coaching, which is a certification program that Greg was in cohort 1, cohort 3 is starting in September, but we also have a masterclass coming up where we just talk about how to be a confident, profitable coach. And if you want to sign up for that masterclass, it's in July 26th. Just let me know, put KMC in the chat and we will give you the link. It's completely free. Good morning, Tanya. And so, Tanya, you might be interested in this too, because what you said was that KMC, Greg,
Mhm.
allowed you to kind of organize what was in your heart and how you wanted to make an impact so that you could then funnel that to your clients to help them identify what they want,
Mhm.
start taking action, and creating a life that they love. So, can you explain how our methodology helped you do that? Because you've been in this space. This isn't new to
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. Hannah, for me, working with you has been a game changer, honestly. Like, you're the best coach that I've ever worked with. And I've watched you coach people in the hot seat, one-on-one, like whether it's through the chat, whether it's through video on our Tuesday calls. And I was like, wow, like the path that you've taken them on, and I was always intrigued as to how well you did that, how you met them where they're at, and you helped them get out of their own way so they could get what they need. And the KMC program really gave me the tools and the toolbox. I think it was both for me. It was I've got a lot of tools. Like I've done tons of coaching for years and years. This was the one that just brought it all together for me. It was just, and I think I know this was the confidence that I needed to launch the Still Center retreat. I'm like, I can do this. I have everything I need. And now I have the structure and the program and the additional tools. I mean, I did write out, just because this is how I'm wired, my top 10 benefits of Khan method coaching and insights. If you want, I can just go dive right into those. They're short and sweet.
you know what? I would love that. Hear that. I don't know what your top 10 benefits are. What
Oh
was
my
the
gosh.
night? Okay, some of you are too young to know, but Greg's got my back when I start to go, when I go into past that late night. Was it Letterman, the top 10? Who did
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it was the top. Yeah, it was Letterman.
It
Yeah,
was
because I don't
Letterman.
think that was Johnny Carson. It was Letterman. Yeah.
It was Letterman. Okay, so let's hear your top
All right.
10.
I'm going to dive right in. So these are all things that I learned from you, from the program. And I use this in my individual coaching and my group coaching and the retreats, like in my conversation. So number one, we can't, or actually, I'll start off with 10. I'll do it the David Letterman style. No, number 10, we can't take our clients further than we can take ourselves. Like for me, it was like, wow. When you said that, that was like, I will remember that for the rest of my life. Actually, all of these I will. And that's my foundation for my commitment to lifelong learning and expansion. I mean, as far as the physical expansion, I like to wear Spanx, right? So that kind of keeps, that. I know I need to go to the gym more, but that for now, the Spanx are working. So number nine, it's about who I'm being as a coach and not how I'm going to solve the client's problems or challenges, because I'm not going to solve them. They are. To be, do you have, right? How I'm being is going to impact, what I'm doing and what I'm having, and same for them. So number 8, I wrote these. Let me just make a little note here because I did these. I did these backwards. So, all right. So number 8, to ask powerful and open-ended questions versus brainstorming solutions. I love to brainstorm solutions, right? That's on my, like, let's just dive in. But you know what? That's not going to help them, right? It's showing them that how they're in their own way and how they can get out of their own way and how they could solve their own problem.
Oh my gosh.
So
That, that would be almost easier because, so you don't have to come up with all of the advice and the direction. And that's a difference between coaching and consulting.
right.
But it's actually more difficult. And this is where your self-image as a coach comes in, who you are being, because it can feed our ego to be the one that is saying, do this, do that. So there's that piece of it. It can feed our ego. And we want to jump in with the solution. It feels good for us. So sometimes I feel like you literally have to almost sit on your hands and stop yourself from doing it, and ask powerful questions, and then allow space for their answer to come. So give them a moment, take a pause. And this is all what we talk about. I love that. Okay, continue.
Well, and that leads to my next one. Number 7, the countdown continues, to hold a powerful, safe, and comfortable space so the client gets what they need. So I'm there. I'm a stand for them. And like you said, it's not about jumping to the solution. It's about being aware of who I'm being. That's why the work is so important for me to continue to work on myself, because I'll know really quickly now if my stuff is getting in the way, and I quickly acknowledge it to myself and not
Yes.
make my stuff their stuff. I don't want to project my stuff onto them or any of that. So it's actively listening, and it's being actively aware of how I'm being in that space.
Yes. And for you to know your stuff, you have to know you.
Right. Yes.
Otherwise, you won't be able to distinguish if it's your stuff or
Right.
not, which is why part of the work that we have done is, well, so much of it is self-understanding, that self-study on you. You knowing you and understanding you allows you to understand others.
100%. And then the journey that, I've been on with you has helped me to just like fall in love with myself again. And I know,
Ah,
and it sounds weird and it sounds awkward but
oh,
even being able to say, and this is again from you, hearing you say this, and now I say it, like people love being in my energy. People transform in my energy. To be able to say that confidently and humbly, it was a big shift for me, right? It's not about arrogance. Yeah, sure, I'm a confident coach and all that, and it's not about me. I'm taking care of me so I can take better care of them. But in that session, it's all about them, and I make it all about them.
oh my gosh, I love it. So before you go to the next one, I
Yes.
just
Yeah.
get a template. Throw some hearts if you are really resonating with what Greg is saying around how he's showing up as a coach, around this idea of powerful questions, around this idea of who he is being, holding the space, and also his own awareness of himself and how powerful he is, and owning that. Throw some hearts. I saw some hearts
Aw.
come up. Thank you. Beautiful. Let's keep going.
I can't see all the comments, but I can feel it. I can feel the love coming in. So thank you. And I love this one here. This is a game changer. Number 6, the countdown continues: to be responsible to my clients and not for my clients. In other words, they're responsible for their for their coaching experience, and they're responsible for their results. And this is huge for me because it's like I've coached in the past in different ways, right? And I've always like, oh, I just know they're not getting like they haven't gotten what they needed, or they haven't achieved the goal that they set out. And I would take it personally, like, what more could I do? What am I not doing? What am I missing? And I was like, you know what, that was making it all about me. And so now I've just completely shift the focus. And I say that out loud, like in the retreats, in my coaching, like I am going to be 100% responsible to you. I'm going to show up on time. I'm going to actively listen. I'm going to give you 100%. I've been trained for this. I've been training for my whole life. I'm Khan certified method coach. So high honors, all the good stuff, right?
Yeah,
And all that. And so, but I can't be responsible for the results. It's not fair to them, and it's not, fair to me. That's not how it wouldn't work any other way if I tried to be responsible for the results.
I love that.
So number 5, to know where the client's results are coming from, right? And dealing with the root cause versus symptoms. And this has really given me an opportunity um, to help lead the client to permanent change and permanent transformation, right? Like you've always said, it's 95% mindset, it's 5% strategy. We cannot outperform our self-image. So really understanding that. And for me, and I don't quite say this early on in the coaching experience, but I don't really want to coach them for like over a year, and or even 6 months. Like I don't want to. Like I remember a friend telling me he had a therapist for 9 years, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to go on a limb here and thinking that therapist is not such a great therapist. That's a long time. So I want to I mean, I'm happy to coach, to do check-ins and all that stuff, but I don't want people to feel like they need me. I feel like they want to come back in after we work together for 6 months or 12 months, and maybe they parachute in, we do quarterly checkup calls. But I don't feel like they need me. I want them to feel like they have everything they need inside to get whatever it is they want. And I'm there to support them, and I'm seeing them for that in that vision.
I love that. And so this idea again, so think about, for those that are listening, the impact that it would have for you as a leader or a coach if first you realize that you're responsible to your clients, not for your clients. And if you really understood where the results are coming from, that it is 95% mindset, then that informs the powerful questions that you will ask. And all of this will allow you to be confident when you are, because we have a lot of people that do our work that have teams. It will allow you to be confident with your teams and your clients as well if you're using this for coaching, because you now are listening. We talk about this, and we're going to talk about this in the July Masterclass, which is free, about the fly and the elephant. So if you want to be at that Masterclass and want the link, please put KMC in the comments, KMC, Khan Method Coaching, in the comments, because when you know where results come from, when you are listening to somebody, you are listening for what we call the elephant, what holds the real weight, and not the fly, not the stuff that they're buzzing around with, but what is really directing their results. And when you can learn to listen for that, you're going to ask really great questions, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, like, how did you know? Or how did you see that? And you're going to be able to bring to the surface what is really going on for them. And that's how you can make a difference really quickly too, because you're not feeding or getting caught up in their story. You're getting to the good content. All right. Are we at number 4, Mr. Fred?
Yes, we're at number 4. Look at you keeping track. All right. So, and we've kind of said this a little bit already. I mean, I could come up with 100. I mean, just boiling it down to 10 was tough. So I'm trying to jam a few extra ones in there as we go through, right? So it's about active listening. And this is, I've always considered myself an active listener. And this just gave me more depth and more understanding to what that really means and how important that is in helping, my clients feel seen, heard, and valued. So it's about what's being said, how it's being said, what's not being said, including their body language too. So I don't do phone coaching calls. Like that's a non-negotiable for me. It just doesn't work. I mean, that's the only thing, they're in the car, they need to reach out, we need to have a chat, 100%, I'm there for them. And for most coaching sessions, for me, for setting that up, it's a Zoom call or it's in person, one of the two. I want to be with them, right? I want to be in their energy. I want them to be in my energy. I want to work with them. I want to see how they react, right? I want to see what's going on. Are they, fidgeting? Are they getting nervous? Are they confident? Are they comfortable? And all that stuff factors in to what's really going on under the surface. What's the elephant in the room, right? I love that when you talk about the ant and the elephant. I spent a lot of time with the ant, right? I've spent years and years with the ant. And so for me, it's easy to spot it, now and not get mired in it. And then to look, beneath the surface. So it's, that's been very helpful. All right. Number 3. How much time do we have, by the way? I blocked out the whole day, just so you know. Like, I didn't know. I get 8 hours plus. Charged. I'm fully charged. I'm connected to a power source. So, I got no excuses. So my AirPods go out, I'm still listening to you. It's all good. So number 3, to always meet my clients where they're at and to hold a vision for their greatness, who they are, and their dream and their goal. Like, and I love when you said this, like I got emotional when you said it for the first time. And I can't remember when it was, but it was, I think it was during a hot seat coaching. And you said, if you don't believe in yourself and if you don't believe in your dream, borrow my belief in you because I believe in you and I believe in your dream. And I was like, wow, I felt that at a deep level. Like, that's powerful. And I say that, I literally say that in my coaching, in my retreats, and I mean it. I'm not like, I feel it. Like, I 100% can see that for them. And I think that's such a powerful place to be at and such a powerful space to hold for our clients. It's so special.
It is, because sometimes for some people, you are the first person to believe in them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes for some of your clients, they've never shared that dream with anybody before. And so it's a really important step. And they don't buy it fully. They don't know if they can do it. It feels so big for them. But when you understand yourself, we understand, of course, it's going to feel big for them. And that's a good thing because they don't have the self-image yet to be able to even accept that that is possible for them. But we can, because we don't have any limiting beliefs about them. We don't hold the same beliefs. And that is one thing that we learn, is how to be with somebody and hold their dream when they are unable to. And then you hold it, and then soon they're going to step in, and and then it's like you're passing it to them. It's like, okay, I'm ready now. And so you're both holding it, and then they start to take it and they integrate it. And the way that we know that, and we talk about this in Khan method coaching, the way that we know that is in their language. It's even the way that they would first share their dream with you, Greg, and then you hear down the road, even by the end of your retreat, how they first came in and started talking about themselves and their language, to like day 2 or checkout, day 3, how they're talking about their dream, and it's very different. And so we know that then a change has happened at the subconscious level. And this is all that we talk about in the masterclass that's coming up on how to be the 3 steps to being a confident and profitable coach. If you want to come to that free masterclass, just put KMC in the comment, and my team, Drina's on here, is going to send you a link to sign up for this free masterclass so that you can learn some of the things that are on Greg's top 10 list. Okay.
Well, and Hina, I'm going to be at that master class. I come to all of yours because you've taught me another thing, and this isn't even in my top 10, so I'm going off the top 10 here. I'm going off the menu. I'm ordering off the menu. You taught repetition. Repetition is so key, because when I took Khan method coaching over a year ago to now, like, a lot's changed. I'm at a different level of awareness, right? So I'm going to hear things differently. I might pick up things differently and make other connections. So it's just going to give me more information and more tools and even more confidence, you know, as I continue to coach and make a difference. So the repetition is key. So I'll definitely be there. I'll take it. I'll be there for all your classes forever and ever.
Yeah, and you know, Greg, it's so interesting, because even when we talk on the masterclass about the conscious and the subconscious, and when you're sitting with a client, the fly and the elephant, you will hear it differently now, because you also have lived experience of it now. So it will be different for you, not necessarily because the content is different, but you are different. And that's why we will read the same book, the same paragraphs, and it will feel different. Love that. I can't wait to have you on the call.
Oh, and I took immaculate notes during Khan method coaching. So I've got them all, like, it's in a Word doc. I've got it highlighted. So I go through those regularly. I went through those before a call, right? I mean, again, it's just, I go through those before coaching. Like, you know, if I haven't, like, you know, if it's been a week, let's say, since I've had a coaching call, it's just a great reminder. There's so many nuggets. I'm sharing a bunch here. We're sharing some of the secret sauce here. Hope that's okay. But not all the secret sauce. Yeah. No, I'm sharing everything. I'm not holding back, of course. So number 2, we're getting down to the wire here. We only have 10 and a half hours to go on our little marathon call. All right, number 2, to celebrate my clients' increasing awareness, growth, and expansion. So for me, the celebration is such a key, because often, and Hina, this is 100% you. Like, when someone's beating themselves up, and I've seen you coach people off the ledge so many times where they're being so hard on themselves, they've realized this, and they're beating themselves up for not realizing it sooner. And your response when they're like, I've realized this, you're like, that's amazing. And it's you're 100% consistent with that. They're like, I realized this, that's amazing, because they're ready to beat themselves up, for that realization, or maybe for something, the way they've been thinking, or what they've been doing, or how they've been acting, how they've been being, right? And it's like, no, that is amazing. Look at that. You've now realized that. So the next time you realize that, it's going to decrease it. You're going to realize it sooner. You're going to be able to respond versus react sooner. So yeah, I don't want people marinating in the negativity. And I think that's also part of we need to feel what we feel. It's not about dismissing or diminishing anyone's feelings. Like you said, I mean, what we resist persists. So let's feel it. Let's acknowledge it. Let's not resist it, but let's not marinate in it. Right?
Yeah. So true. Like, you want to feel it so it can move to and through you. So then it is done. And that frees you up to then receive the gift of it as well. It's all a gift. Our feelings are amazing. And again, as we understand ourselves, we're going to be aware and be able to pick it up in others. We're going to feel what is happening for them. And that gives us insight too. but we don't want to live there necessarily. We want to use it as information, get the gift out of the experience, and then expand, expand, expand.
I love it. And it made me, something else just popped in. Oh, the feelings. Yeah. I mean, that was another thing. Like our feelings are our GPS.
Yeah.
I mean, that literally lets us know, am I moving toward my goal or dream, or am I moving away from it? So, I mean, one of the things like that I created based on the work that we've done is at the retreat, I have a dream card. And on one side, this is after the pre-retreat coaching session, I literally write it on a 3x5 card, what their dream is, and I play it back to them. And then the other side is their obstacles, what gets in the way of them, of their dream or their goal. And my thing is, you can only focus on one or the other. You're either focusing on your dream, you're either focused on one side of the card or the other. So what can we do to focus more and more on the dream side, right? And again, the obstacles are going to show up, but what can we do to acknowledge them, to let it come to and through us, like you said, and then continue to move towards our dreams, because we're either moving towards our dream or away from our dream, and our feelings are the GPS. So again, like, not getting mired in it. Feelings come and go. It is what it is, right? And just do what we need to do to shift out of it, to reframe and call a friend, ask for support, whatever that might be. Right? Create the tools that we need to move through it. So number one, are you ready for it?
Ready for it.
To be coached by the best, the MF best. Can I say that
Yeah,
on
you
the
can.
live call? Okay. So when you say it, it makes me laugh every time. So obviously, the information that you shared is, will be with me for a lifetime. How you shared it, and how you were being, and how you were such a stand for us, like that's what is going to keep it in my heart, for the rest of my life. Like, you're literally the best coach I've ever been. I know you've been on the top 1% for, what is it, like 22 times, or the number keeps going up. I can't keep track, but it's just, to learn from you, to be coached by you, to learn by doing. That was another big part of the, I love that you incorporated the learning by doing. It wasn't just theory. It wasn't just great ideas. All these concepts are amazing. And a third of the way through, we started actually coaching and doing peer coaching, being coached and coaching, and be able to share feedback. And so we're learning the material as we're going. That was a huge confidence builder. It wasn't like, oh, I hope I can apply these. I hope I can use these concepts well. There's no hoping or wishing or trying. It's literally just being, from that out. So I'm channeling you and the work that I've done. You made a huge difference with me in my life and my coaching business. And the ripple effect is massive, right? With my family, my friends, and my clients. And it continues to extend. So I'm trying to think of a positive word for tsunami, because it's that enormous, but tsunami is typically, negative, right? With the damage it causes. But it's been amazing. So you're the best, literally.
Oh my goodness. Well, Greg, thank you so much. And if this has piqued your interest and you want to just know about how to get more confident and profitable in your own coaching business, we have a free masterclass coming up. Just put KMC in the chat and we will send you the information to sign up. Greg will be there.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Greg is here. Follow Greg. He's doing these retreats, and look, it is a gift to be in his energy. I know that when you are with Greg, you are with somebody that only wants to see you succeed. That's his agenda. His agenda is very clear. It is about you really living the life of your dreams. And one of the things, Greg, we talk about when we talk about Greg, we talk about unstoppable joy. I think that you could probably feel that in this call. So I want to thank you all for coming and joining our live. Greg, thank you for joining the live from your cottage. And I
Thanks, Hina.
appreciate your top 10 list. I appreciate everything.
I appreciate you. Thanks for inviting me to be part of this. It's really special. And thanks for everyone who's joined, and hope you got value out of today's session.
Love it. Okay, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye. Take care. Do I need to put KMC in the chat? I'll be there.
He'll be
Thanks, Hina.
there. Bye.